So this is Tahiri Divine, also known as Diana, the Metaphysical Midwife, and I am just here really quickly to do a really quick brief video with you guys. I want to talk about personal journeys real quick. One of the most important parts of any journey when it comes to your spiritual growth, any type of growth that you're doing, whatever it is, one of the biggest blockers for your transformation. Hey, I'm recording. One of the biggest blockers when it comes to your transformation is going to be doubt. And let me explain where I'm coming from. Many of you know that I'm a practitioner of astrology and many of the other mystic arts. And being a part of that, as I learned more about these ancient tools and how to apply that in my life, one of the factors that have always remained, even when I was under the religion of Christianity, was this concept of doubt, or the idea of doubt, or just the seed of doubt, right? There was always this doubt that I wasn't worthy enough, or this doubt that I am not assured enough in something, right? And it has matriculated in many different parts of my life and in areas of my life where these little seedlings of doubt would come, and eventually they will sprout out, because again, it starts with something really small as a quiet voice or just a inkling, and we feed into it, or when we feed into it, it grows into being something much more, and we start to have, you may experience anxiety or panic attacks, or this feeling that something's after you, or you're just not getting right. You know, all of that kind of plays into the factor of it, right? And currently right now, Pluto is in retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, and it will be there until about October 4th of 2020 this year. And for my personal self, it is aspecting, or it is actually right now in my second house, and it's going to be there for about 20 plus years. And what that is for me, or how this Pluto in Capricorn retrograde is manifesting for me, is about my security. And Taurus, or the second house, is about like financial security, or we talk about the idea of it being financial security in the realms of the world we live in today, about finances and being stable, and pretty much centered around the concept of physical, tangible things. You know, what do we value? What do we have that expresses our true value, or beauty, or our morals, you know, our viewpoints? And for me, I definitely have seen a transformation in myself as far as what I value. And my values are not even just the material things. It's actually, and I was about to say maternal, which is actually, it's for me, it's been my maternal self. It's been me valuing women, myself as a mother, children, my thoughts and processes on those areas of my life. Finances has come into play. More so, not so much finances, although that is a part of it. It's particularly more so just being economically sound and stable. If you guys kind of catch my drift on that. And then this concept of just having long-term, what is my long-term morals and goals, and what is it that I am establishing myself in, right? So when I go back into the idea, or the seedlings of doubt, where that seems to have found itself for me, or how it has manifested itself for me, is this idea or feeling or concept that something's out to get me. And I used to feel this anxiety a lot, and every now and then it would try to creep up, and I have a better grasp of it now that I'm like, okay, let's check yourself. Where's this coming from? What is the root of this? Why are you feeling like that right now? And what is it that you need to do to get yourself to get through the next part of it? And what I have been realizing within myself is that it is more so the illusions that I give myself. And when I talk about illusions, particularly the doubt is just that. It's an illusion. It is an idea that is a plausible concept if you continue to feed it. I'm reminded of the Native American parable or story of the grandfather who was telling his grandson about the two wolves. One wolf is about dark and despair, and the other wolf is about light and success or prosperity. And both need to feed, and both wolves live in each one of us. And the grandson asked his grandfather, well, which one will win? And the grandfather says, whichever one you feed the most. And when I take into the perspective of that parable, that story, what I'm getting to is that what we decide to feed into, give our energy to, give our time to, is what we're going to feed and what's going to continue to grow and show in our lives. And right now with the whole retrograde, and depending where it is aspecting in your own your life, that may be something that's going to show up, because Scorpio deals with the underworld. Scorpio deals with not just Scorpio, excuse me, Scorpio is that Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. So Pluto is about that deep transformation. It's not surface level transformation. It's about deep rooted, getting down to the deepness of the waters, the deepness of your memories, because water is memory, and mending back or remembering back the pieces of who you are, so that you can come out of this retrograde or come out of this transformation a new being. And at times, being in this new being, there's this doubt of, am I able to sustain myself? Can I be who I am called to be based on... Okay, so I'm sorry, so I got a message here. Can I be who I'm called to be based on where I am right now and where I'm trying to go? And a lot of times we are so attached to where we are right now or who we are right now that we don't really, the doubt starts to be fed that I can be something else, or I can do something else, or I can change myself or transform myself and transmute my current situation into a positive situation, because we have got used to or attached to the idea of struggling, or attached to the idea of suffering, or attached to the idea that you have to work hard to have some type of success. That right there plays in a direct alignment into feeding into the doubt that we are somewhat incapable or not we're incapable of creating and being the very thing that we have been destined and birthed to be. And majority of that comes from birthing pains. When I think about giving birth to something, it is the pain that you have to go through in this canal to get to the other side. If you think about it, when a baby is coming out the womb through a vaginal birth, it is being squeezed through that birth canal. The opening of the vagina may open, but if you really think about that canal, it's a very slender, it's a very slick, I wish I had like something kind of to give a demonstration on, but it's a very slender pole or hole that you're coming through, and the baby is usually tight together, and then you know that when the crown starts to the skull starts to fold up onto each other so that the baby can be pointed to, you know, point through the birth canal. And that's what I really believe is happening here, more so personally in my own life, because I am in a place and a position in my life where it is completely about to be a complete 180. I was going to say 360, but maybe it's even a 360, but I'm going to say a 180 from where I once was and where I am. And I have had seen many transformations in the last 2 to 3 years of my own personal life, maybe even longer than that, but I'm just going to narrow down to the last 2 to 3 years, that I got to a place like, well, what more can change? What more can be better? And better sometimes, where we at may be better than where we was at, but it's not the best to where you need to be at. It's not even the best form you need to be at. And now there's time for a deeper transformation, a deeper inner knowledge and pulling of strength that you need to pull out to get to that side of trust. And it really just narrows down to trust. Part of ourselves don't trust ourselves. Part of ourselves somewhere don't believe in the very thing or the very nature that we're supposed to have. And I will beg to say that it comes from the association of our memories of not having or not being the very thing that we call to be. And I am reminded that the only thing that connects us to our past is our memories. And when we hold on to the memory of where we once was and not to the ideal of where we can be or where we need to go, or create it to be a memory of where I'm needing going, we get stuck on the illusion of what we experienced versus the experiences that we really want to experience, if you catch me. So what I'm coming in today and what I'm bringing to is that it's more than not just to say don't feed into your doubt. It's a practical solution that we're going to do, and a practical tool I'm going to give you on how to not feed into your doubt. When that doubt starts to kick in, take it as a trigger. Where do you feel it at? Do you feel it in your throat? Do you feel it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Does it come to you in your head? Where exactly? Pinpoint the physiology of how doubt feels in your body. Point it out. And wherever that feeling that you're getting at, if it's, let's say it's in your stomach, in your gut, that right there is a significant sign that there's some solar plexus work that needs to be done, right? If you feel it in your chest, right, the tightening of your chest, there's some heart chakra things that need to get done. If you feel it in your throat, there's some throat chakra, some speaking up that needs to be taking place. Wherever you feel the physiology of your doubt, narrow it down to what chakra point that it's associated to, and that's the area of your chakra that needs to be uplifted. Whether it's a particular color you need to wear, whether it's a mantra you need to say, whether it is something that you just need to say, do, write, dance, feel, be out, okay? So what I want you guys to take from this is to find the physiology of where you feel your doubt and tell yourself, is it the truth, or is this a nuggling of feeling for me to be aware of? Because typically it's not so much that doubt needs to take over. Typically it's time to be aware of where that doubt resides and give it an eviction notice, and then fill it back with something else that's going to nourish that very area of your body and nourish that very much area in your life. I didn't want to make this long. I wanted to get straight to the point and share this with you guys. This is Tahiri Divine. You can find me on all my social sites as Tahiri Divine. I am known as the Diana and the Metaphysical Midwife because I use words and astrology and other mystic tools and arts to help you, show you how to apply them in your life so that you can have the constant transformation to being the version of yourself that you have came here to be. Not so much the version that you have been associated to being or what you have been born into being, but who you truly are on a core essence level of who you are, and tapping into that and walking into that with your full authority. I'm Tahiri Divine. Find me on all my social sites as Tahiri Divine. Thank you, and until next time.